Okay, well, welcome back, folks. My name's Dawson. We're just doing some tactical gaming, and what we were doing is looking at command modern operations and refueling. This has been kind of driving me kind of nuts. What I decided to do here is actually figure this out with our little calculator here. And I'm having at that, and I'll bring it back down into view here in a minute. Okay, so our problem is that we have to travel. Control D, find your distance. We have to travel here. That's 14. Control D. That's 11. And then to attack, which will come through here and attack. So it's about 400 miles, 500 miles. So we need at least 500 miles of, probably 800 miles of fuel because they're only going to come into about right here to launch these storm shadows, which have a range. Okay, so if we look at the Nimrod, if we look at the Nimrod, where are they? Come here. If we look at the Nimrod has, if we have shadow storms on it, has a 1,850 nautical mile strike. So we go Nimrod. Okay. 1,850 nautical mile strike. So its range on a one-way mission, or almost like a ferry mission, would be no, wait a minute. It would be D2 times 2. That didn't work. 1850. I need to get a lot of this out of my way so I can get up there and type. But see, so if it's... Okay, so if it is... Let's try this one. Let's try it this way. D2 times 2. Still 0. It's B2. It's B1, right? So it would be B1. Okay. So if we get down here, and we will format these guys. These will always be the answers. So if I format these guys, just put them down to 20, and then I say want them to change to some. No, that's not what I want to do. go right about here. Okay, clear that. So what I wanted is here to here. I should be able to copy that one. So if I get 22 here, it's just not working. Anyway, we'll figure that out later. I'm not going to sit here. I used to be really good with these things. Okay, so the Nimrod, it should reach 3,700 miles. So if we pull this back out, put this up here, put this up here, and we go to 3,700 miles on this thing. Back to Control D. Just from here to here is about 29. So these Nimrods should be able to fly at least 1,500 miles without needing fuel. Or actually 3,000 miles without needing fuel. So if we go that way and just give it 10% off, they should be able to fly to right about here safely. That gives them 1,000 miles of fuel, refuel, fly down here, do the attack, fly back. Okay, so if I put it right there, and then I come from here at 600, that's about 1,000 miles. So if I keep fuel right there, they should be able to do the mission, fly back to the fuel point, and fly all the way back. And that's 1,500. So this is what we're planning. And this is the mechanics of this game. So if I make this right here, this is we're going to call it a rally point, but this is a rally point. And we're going to call this as a mission. Okay, and this is going to be a refueling mission. It's going to be AAR1, or you could do it to A1, because that's actually air to air. No, R1. There it is. Air to air refueling 1. And we give it a support mission. Now, if you see something I'm doing wrong, please put it in the comments. Okay, am I even watching the comments actually? Okay, down there. So if you have anything to say, please put it in the comments for what I'm doing wrong. I have been messing with this for about 4 days. And so what happens is when you put these aircraft in there, okay, and we tell it, okay, start the mission editor for it right here. So here's our point. It is 1,500 miles away. These Nimrods should be able to fly to that thing, no problem, refuel, come back. So what I have found is going through here, if I put what I was thinking is they should be able to do this. They should be able to go down there and then fly refuel. The hard part here is refueling. We can refuel the fuelers. We can do that. That's kind of magic. But so the problem with this is, the biggest problem with this is saying if we go into configure, all right, this is the refueling mission. And I thought at first that uh, launch without tankers. We're going to try something different on this because I keep thinking that I can launch tankers with my flight, with my strike flight, and say these tankers are coming with us. Have a good time. But I tried that, and you'll see what I'm saying. This mechanic really has something. When I say launch the strike launches. Okay, but it seems to wait around there until these guys get here, and that's not what I want. What I want is I want to launch my refuelers an hour prior to me leaving. That way they get down there, or even 15 minutes actually. They get down there, they refuel, hit the target, and come back. So the target, I edited the map. You can see in the mission editor that we have a strike. The strike has all the buildings that we need to hit right now. So this is the strike mission. Of course, the strike mission, we take these Nimrods over, get that warning out, tell it no, and then it's got a refueling option. So the refuelers have refueling options. The aircraft, strike aircraft, have refueling options. So it looks like it says, okay, at 60% of mission, I've got it set. Start looking for refuelers. Okay, but here is where I set it. Launch these aircraft when I tell you to launch them, which would be over here. This, I have not yet been able to do anything with this. Oh, there we go. So AAR, the number of tankers, minimum, maximum number of tankers, minimum number of tankers on. But if you tell it to launch, see, extremely risky, and it's going to go to there. This is where we want it to go, and that's where we'll have our fuel. Really, really kind of doesn't work. You'll see. So let's launch the. Okay, so our tankers, the Grizzlies, these guys. Get rid of that. Come on, go away. All right, so these are the Belgians. These things are really kind of cool. These were not modified C-130s. They're aircraft in their own right, and they're the A400Ms. And they really look nice. What they remind me of is a 141 C7 with prop engines. That's what it actually looks like, but it's a little shorter, and the C7 is a little bigger, so you can jump out of it. But it's with when it's pumped up with buddy packs or buddy stores, it's got a range of 2,900 miles. So we take the thing and 400. Do that a copy. Put that in my spreadsheet wherever that went. I guess I got to put it up here to get it out of the way. Okay, so this on that guy on the A1400s, there They're with buddy stores. Okay, so they are 2,900 miles. Oh, I hate that. I'm going to have to write something up for this. Okay, so they're 2,900 miles. See, they can vary 50, almost 6,000. Pretty good. At 2,900. 2,980? 2,970. 70. So, problem here is this is to get them there and get them back. Okay, so how much fuel? What? How much fuel? So here's the mission. And I will set these Voyagers down there, so it's so far away. These are the only guys I can really think of that will do the mission properly, because it's so far away. And there's other things I would like to control in here that I can't find. One of them is speed. I don't want them doing military speed. I will edit their unit orders. I do not like what I'm seeing here. On stations loiter. And what I'd really like these guys to do is just kind of loiter out there with them. Station. And we're going to go at 30, about 30,000 feet's good for them. And we'll give them a transit out. We'll give them a transit at 30,000 feet too. It's where we're getting the best. Okay. Happy with that. So we can actually cruise with this guy. And with why did it change? New station terrain following. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Think about that. Yeah. Get a KC-10. Oh, excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. A scammer. Actually, a Social Security scammer. Had to tell him, since I don't want to really offend people, I had to tell him, where they could go with it. Anyway, back to our story here is that these guys have a good flight time. They really do. And if you look at them over here, and when we get them up here, where are they? The Voyagers are not bad. These are modified 330-20s. These are French. And they carry, when they're doing fuel missions. Okay. Most important thing we want to make sure they have is drogues. Okay, so they have a 4,000 mile tanker mission radius. That's a tanker mission radius. And that they have no form up speed. So a one-way trip for them is 8,000. So they should be able to actually stay on station if I have 6 of them. 4,000, I'm using 3,000 of it. Okay. So there we go. Good. That is okay. I like those. So those missions are set. Here it is. But see, I don't want my strike to leave until an hour after this one. So it'd be 1408. Okay, so I didn't miss anything. So, and you'll see it goes as soon as I tell it that, it says it's delayed. Okay, so I haven't figured out what to do with these. What I wanted to do with these is actually give a short on the way back. If they don't have enough fuel, I wanted them to have a fuel state back here that they could actually fuel up, and all 10 of these grizzlies will be sitting in there. So we'll do that. So, and then we go RP1. So this is mission. Do we have our 222? Yeah, it is. They'll just hang around there. Okay, so if I add another one right here, which is not part of this mission, it's more like a pretty part of the mission. This stuff won't launch until about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours later. So we'll put an RP there. And so remember this one, we'll create the mission with it. And the biggest part about this is going to be a support mission. It's going to be active, and we're going to say this. See, screwed it up. I got to remove one. Maybe I ought to do that. Okay, 222, 220. Get this one. Get rid of this one. All right, so we kind of get it's going to be this one, 223, and we're going to give all the grizzlies to it because it is kind of far out there, and these guys are really needing fuel. They'll come back to it. But this is not going to start for about 2 hours, so that's 1,500. So that's 2 hours later as they're coming back. So now to review our missions, we have these 6 Voyagers, and I want 2 out there at all times, which is that continuous loop. Take that off so we don't have to worry about that. They're gonna cruise out there, which I was looking at their cruise rate, and if they're at 30,000 feet with the cruise rate at 30,000 feet on those guys, they're going to be using, is it the same one? The Nimrods will fly out there. We'll put them at 36,000 feet and cruise. Yeah, 36,000 feet and cruise. That way we're only using 47 kilos per minute. The other ones, the only other one is a lower. It's the 200 knots. And we actually got to get them out there. And at cruise band 3, we will be using 47.93 kilos per minute. Okay. Which extends our range. So let's launch the first launch, get our planes going, and we'll just burn them. Now, we'll pause it. We want to make sure that our mission, when our strike goes out and you do this, we're going to have him, I don't know what this is, but he's going here first. I specified the tankers. Oh, maybe I didn't give it a mission name, huh? Uh-oh. And that would be... Okay, so when we look in 2A, we will see that 2A doesn't use anything. Okay, we want the strike to go to this guy first. And he'll start looking, I'm going to get him, he'll start looking at 20% of the mission. Okay. See, I don't understand this. Tanker follows receiver flight pan. I haven't seen this happen yet. I gotta learn more about this, but it does not give me any options. So I think I've kind of explained this situation. Let's get back to what it does. What I want you to watch is what the Nimrods do when they launch. And here's the problem. You have to be in position at the first RP, okay, before he'll quit playing around up here. So he's going to be launching in about 3 minutes. So now watch what he does. Okay, so watch what he's doing up here. I'm going to select him. Flight 90. Okay, so this is the different flight plans he plans to do. But look at his fuel. Watch his fuel. And I am going to tell him in the throttle that I want him to fly at cruise this really doesn't give me oh, I don't like this. It doesn't tell me how high that is. But I want him to go high. I want him to cruise. Let's see what happens. Well, let's slow it down a little bit. Just go to 5. Start. But watch his fuel states here and watch what his mission is. Mission land strike. Okay, so his fuel won't be down there. See, and he's got 1,800 miles. Here's the problem. Where's the 32? And why is this 18? And he gets up to where he's supposed to be. He's almost at 30,000. and doing 317, which I don't want him to be doing. But I'll keep it there and see what our fuel rate is. And our fuel rate right now is 92. His range will extend the higher he gets. So I don't like... He doesn't need to be doing 342, 347, which is kind of... Oh, where is it? Throttle. I don't want him to do that. I want him to cruise. So his cruise is 360 knots. And right now we have 2,200 miles that he can fly. So, but he's just circling. This is what's pissing me off. He should be on the mission. He should be on the mission. And he's just circling, burning fuel. So if I tell him, get on mission, whatever, we're going to try this. Whatever. But he's still burning his fuel. And he hasn't left the area. So my burn rate now is 82. My range to that and if I tell him see, he should be able to make it there. He can't go inside, but see, this is what's getting me. His range right now is 2,900 nautical miles, almost 3,000 nautical miles. And all he has to do is hit RP220. Oh. All he has to do is hit that guy. Yeah, and I did tell him to launch without. If you see here, we did tell him to launch without tankers in place. Okay, so we've seen that this is getting slow. So watch what he does. See this? He's not doing the mission. He wants this aircraft down here before he launches. So he grabs some fuel from these idiots. And there's no reason to burn that much fuel off. See, he's still there. This is what's getting me. If anybody has a likely answer for this, without me actually doing missions and then pointing them to him, I should not have to do this. It should be all in planning. See, now he's continuing because the guys are at RP2. and he bypassed RP1, and he's out of fuel. And there should be no reason these guys are out of fuel. None. And I guess that's it for right now. I am trying to figure this out. I'm going to start another live one here. I'm going to try a different way. I guess I could do that now. But you see where my problem is that these things, this shouldn't be happening. This guy wasn't set. It was this guy and this guy, but he spent so much time flying back and forth here, he burnt all of his fuel. And I'm not sure why he's doing that. And I delayed him. See, that's the problem. And I've been running into this the whole thing. We can restart it. And of course, thank you, Baloogan, for this air. This is really making me think. If I figure this out, then I'm never going to have another problem with refueling. I know how to do the easy where if I'm flying in from right here and say we're going into Liberian, I'd put a refueling station here, and I would set his home station to LIB, and what he would do is he'd try to go back home, and then I would say, look at the tankers. Then the other problem we may have is these tankers are flying so far out that they do not have the fuel to top him off, and he's looking for 100% of the fuel. And I'm still looking that up because there should be something there that allows us to edit how much fuel he has on mission. And I can't seem to find it yet. I'm still reading the docs on this because this is one of the harder things to figure out. You got this good, and you got see, and the only thing is I don't want him out here too long. I want him to launch just right behind them, to where they're going there and they're in station. Okay. But again, we start with a new one, and we'll make this easy. We'll just use the lock point. Okay, we'll do this RP point, and then this will be another RP. Okay, so. All right, so create a mission on the RP point, and we'll just. I'm just doing it AR2. It is a support. Okay. We'll go here, just because I want to make it. Unmake you. Okay. Create mission. Add new mission. Mission name AR1. It is a support mission. Active. All right. So we've got our support missions, which really bugs me. Even if he flies to here, he should be able to fly back. And it's something to do. It's something to do. We're going to have to look at doctrine too. Something to do with our mission editor, and I want to see our doctrine. There we go. Okay, and our doctrine. Here's ecom settings, don't care. Now what is this for? Nothing. So we do the strike. And I have tried to use like for an escort to AAR. So we can get refueling all the way down there. Let's try that. So we'll go here, and we will give these guys here. And to the strike, we will do here. Okay. And we will add these 3 Voyagers. We'll mark them. So I don't see shit. Let's put them back over here. So if we mark these, see, I want them to be. See, I don't understand that. I've tried this before, but watch what happens when I do this. I'll launch these guys with them, because these guys will be in flight. Okay? AA1 will have, let's put these Grizzlies in AA1. Where's AA1? What is that? 213. 208. 208. Okay. And of course, I will tell him the configuration is we will go AR1. I just do not like that. I really think this is wrong. I'm going to put it at 10% of the mission. So, it should work. I don't understand why they're not following, but let's see if we can get this to work, and then you'll kind of see what's going on here. I have to get this down. So I'm going to have to spend a half a day going through everybody's papers to get this to work properly. So here's another wrong way, I suppose. So we got the missions going, and we do not want, we want the strike mission to launch right after AAR2. So we're going to give the time, we'll give them 10 minutes. Okay, so the strike will leave 10 minutes behind them. Okay. AAR2's got them? Okay, all right. These guys will leave, say 40 minutes. 48. All right. So now this leaves, strike leaves, hit strike, go to here, make sure we can launch without tankers and planks. Okay. What happens? See what that's doing? And it's just burning its fuel. It's just burning its fuel. And they're at 450. Their burn rate's horrible. Burn rate is... Watch them follow them back. See, this is so stupid. Right now they got 2,000 nautical miles. And these guys are sitting at 36,000 feet and cruising. So he hits them. Grab some fuel. And he will follow them back. He's now at 1,600 miles. And he's got 1,100 miles. And so they will follow him back. And the reason I think it is because when he gets here, he's got 600 nautical miles. They can't refuel fast enough. So he can fly the last 500 miles, that last 1,000 miles. He needs at least 1,000. But he follows the tanker back. And we should have had 2 tankers down here. But he follows the tankers back, and it's just kind of RTV after that. It's kind of it. And I know what it is. It has to be in here. When I get here, I need 1,000 miles to get in and get back. There's not enough. See, runs out of fuel, and he's following them back, and they run out of fuel. There's something going on with the Nimrods that the fuel rates are not what they should be. Absolutely insane. I don't even know what to say about this. Because this really affects, like, ferry missions. Okay, so I'm going to do a ferry mission. And I will put up a bomber someplace. So, and see, this basically what this is it's a ferry mission for a strike. These guys are out here full of fuel. Okay, but the last one, I know what it is. We have to get more fuel down there. And he has to quit dicking around up here. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put a little more fuel down here. And I'm going to tell him I want 3 on station, which will make the cycle faster. So what we'll do is we'll go get in the game again. I wish they had a reset. Okay. See, that's an RP. We'll give that a mission. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, problem here, problem two, is let's just say that, okay, we get to our mission editor. Let's just say that AAR1, which is right here, and then AAR2 is here. And our strike at 60%. I'm still going to do that at 20 because I think that's what it runs out of fuel. Launch without. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, so this time, but if you watch this, we'll run out of time, and we still may not get there. Okay, so what we will do is we will, on our AAR2, we will assign all these Voyagers, because it's the farthest away, and we will want 2 on station at all times. And then I'm going to add, okay, 2 on station at all times. And I'm going to add some of these. I'm going to add 4 to this. Those 4 Grizzlies, and hopefully what are, and just this mission, what I'd like to do is have the Grizzlies refilled from the Airbuses, or which way or another, so that these Grizzlies will have full fuel. Anyway, if you do that, you got to do this. I'm going to change this to allow just for that mission. All right. Strike mission, that mission. And we are going to delay him. We're not going to tell him when to take off. We're going to kind of get things to fly out first. So we'll fire this to fire. We'll launch that. So now if I go to the airfield, go to the group for my Nimrods, tell the Nimrods to launch as a group. Launch as a group. So I'm launching them. And they're up. I'll assign them to the strike. But see how much fuel they used? And see, they're just bloom, bloom, until these guys get here. Then they'll go. And now he does not have the time to fly down there. This is bullshit. And then he flies back to this. This is ridiculous too. He should not fly anything behind him. It should be in front of him. It's getting a good chunk of fuel from him though. He is getting. And now he flies back with him because he's not at 100%. So now he's back up there playing around because there's no aircraft down here, and he's just going to stay there. It just drives me nuts. But you seen him, he come all the way down here, found one of these guys coming back, then flew back with him. So it's something in the setup. And again, if you guys, anybody can, just please leave me a chat, or I'm on a Discord. Okay. I am on a Discord. I'll put that down here. I should have put that in there somewhere. But leave me an idea of what I'm doing wrong with these sessions. And from there, I will leave you guys for a little while. We will try this again. I got to go back and think about this, read some more about it. There has to be a way to control where that. See, I do not like. The problem is I want to launch my strikes pretty much after I launch to here, and these other ones can rebuild when I get back. But I want him to at least get down here, get refueled, go do the mission, come back, refuel, have enough fuel here, or have enough fuel sitting here. That's all. So we're going to try something else. Anyway, I will leave you there today. And as always, I wish you a great day. And if I don't see you a little bit later, I will see you tomorrow.